in the air. Well, kinda. Race fans, you've been waiting too long. This Saturday night marks the 31st season opener at Elko Speedway. We'll take a look at what's ahead for NASCAR fans, plus make our fearless preseason predictions. Next on the Valvoline Elko Race Report.
On Easter weekend, not only did a lot of the stars and cars of Elko Speedway come on out to get some practice laps in, but a lot of the kids and their folks were there as well, looking for some Easter treats. Hello again, race fans. Wally Shaver and Ted Ostad here to kick off another racing season, and I can hardly wait for this Saturday night to come around, Ted, because now we get to see the guys go racing.
Well, we all know it's been a long, hard winter. It's been cold. It's been snowy. The snow is gone. The track is dry. It's time to go race, and I'll tell you, Wally, I cannot wait until Saturday night, 7 o'clock. It all gets underway. New start time this year.
Yes, keep that in mind, folks. 7 o'clock. We've got lots coming up in this show for you. We'll take a look at some of the new drivers that'll be visiting Elko Speedway this year, some of the special events, and coming up next, we'll take a look at the late model division. Today's show is brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of mechanics across the Midwest. By Budweiser, race fans, this Bud's for you. By Tires Plus, low warehouse prices, fast world-class service. And Gens Ryan Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. For all your Lennox needs, call Gens Ryan in Rosemount.
With all the motor oils on the shelf, how do you know which one to choose? Some people even think they're all the same. Then why do you suppose one brand of motor oil is the #1 choice of America's top mechanics for use in their own cars and trucks? Which brand? Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. And for extra engine protection, try Valvoline DuraBlend synthetic blend motor oil.
Kenny Bernstein's Budweiser King Top Fuel Dragster. Who says you need wings to fly?
Shake, rattle, and roll this Saturday night. It's high-speed, action-packed NASCAR auto racing excitement. The Thunder rolls every Saturday night at the Midwest Center for Speed, Elko Speedway. 4 exciting divisions: NASCAR late models, sportsmen, Thunder cars, and bombers. Elko Speedway is located just 10 minutes south of Burnsville on Interstate 35. Feel the thunder this Saturday night at Elko Speedway. For ticket information, call the Speedway at 461-RACE.
Last year's championship in the late model division was one of the closest on record ever at Elko Speedway. Jeff Martin overhauled Mike Tuma on the last night of the season in 1995. The top 5 drivers all finished within 200 points of one another, close by racing standards. This year, race fans will see an expanded field of competitors, which will make the points race all the more interesting. Also, the method in which drivers earn points has changed for 1996, as runner-up Mike Tuma explains.
Well, of course, the time trials isn't going to count for points this year, so we don't have to worry about that. That was our downfall last year. We needed to be a little quicker qualifying, but this year they're not having that, so we're just going to try and win the races.
Winning races is top of the mind for Rookie of the Year Randy Waibel. Last season he finished 6th overall in points on the strength of 6 top 5 finishes, although he didn't win any feature races. Randy's not the superstitious sort. He's changed his car color to green and still sports number 13, both usually taboo by drivers. At least he doesn't eat peanuts in the pits, another racing bad omen. Waibel has been busy though.
We stripped it completely and then repainted it. The interior used to be blue, so we wanted to strip the chassis and just kind of go through everything. Hopefully we put everything back to where it was. I feel like taking a nap about this time, but...
Champion of the late models in 2 of the past 3 years, Brian Johnson will again be a top contender. After a 3rd place overall finish last year, he's focusing on his frame of mind.
Well, actually, for me, it's more calm myself down at the beginning of the year. With all the new drivers, and you got to be a little careful. You know, you haven't raced with these guys before, and you know, I'll just have to be extra careful out there for the first few weeks.
Tim Stanley in car number 69 now has 2 years under his belt in the division and has been plugging hard to improve on his 14th place finish in 95.
We've learned quite a bit, and I think that we're going to be ultra competitive this year, and hopefully we have a little better luck. We've tried a lot of different chassis setups and so on, and I think we've learned from that, and hopefully we've got a better setup that'll stay with us longer.
Veteran drivers Rapid Ray Gensler was 4th last season, and teammate Steve Mergic earned 5th place honors. As always, both will be top contenders. Each won 2 feature races in 1995, and undoubtedly will see more checkered flags this year. A secondary group of drivers has gained valuable seat time and will be threats. They include Paul Payne, Brad Miller, Jason Schneider, Mel Wallen, and Dick Moeller. But there was someone else on the horizon aiming towards that top spot.
One of the newcomers around the late model series this year is not an unfamiliar face around these parts. He's Kevin Nuttleman. He's been around before in the NASCAR Northern Series, but now he's going to be making regular weekly appearances from La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Well, I've been doing it racing down there for 7 years, and Scott LaFavor came to me and asked me if I wanted to do this. And I figured it'd be a real challenge to do something different. And I got a lot of friends up here and love racing with the people up here.
New surroundings isn't the only reason Kevin is making the switch to Elko.
I think it's great for me. I've always been kind of running our own show, and these cars are getting a lot more expensive, and it was getting to the point where the last 3 years I haven't been able to afford to run the way I've wanted to, you know, and not that that's going to make a big difference the way I've been driving, because I've always been a conservative driver, and I want to keep being that. But just going out there and racing and knowing that if you're going to wreck, that you might be done because it might cost more than what you have.
A fan favorite for years at La Crosse, Nuttleman's followers plan on regular trips to Minnesota as well. And they've already got a nickname.
The Nut Wagons.
And I'm sure that nut wagon will be a rowdy nut wagon on the way home Saturday night. A lot of great things ahead for 1996 in the late model division. We have a couple of seasoned veterans making a return to the division. Gordy Swanson ran a couple of years in the Sportsman, used to run in the late models. He's going to make a return this year. Also John Lemke, who's a regular competitor on the Artco Challenge Series circuit. He'll make a return on an abbreviated schedule to Elko Speedway. Those are just a couple of the new and interesting stories, though, Wally.
And we've got some good rookies coming up, too, Ted. A couple of them, especially from the Sportsman division. The brothers Ryan, Dan Ryan and his brother Tom. Dan finished 2nd overall in points in the Sportsman division last year, picking up 4 feature wins along the way. Tom had 7 top 5 finishes in that division. Another guy coming up from the Sportsman, he was a champion 2 years ago, Dick Moeller. Ran a very abbreviated schedule last year as a late model driver, but will be there more full-time this year and is a very good driver. And also Bruce Moore coming over from Raceway Park, where he participated in the figure 8s. They call him Out of Control Bruce Moore.
We'll have to see how Bruce can do. Rick Keith last year struggled a little bit, but he's got a year underneath his belt. We'll have to see how those figure 8 competitors do in the late model division. Another rookie, a youngster on the circuit, is Josh Badgett. He'll make the jump over from the NASCAR Modified 4s into a full-size late model this year. Plenty more to come on this edition of the Valvoline Elko Race Report. Here's a look at the start times for this weekend's season opener at Elko Speedway.
Our top 10 reasons to shop Tires Plus.
Number 10, Weed 2 windows. 9, all the top for him.
8, don't like them? Exchange them. 7, work fast. 6, mouths to feed. 5, we recycle. 4, 90 days, no payment. 3, best price guarantee. 2, will a line break and shock you. And our number 1 reason to shop Tires Plus, we're Minnesota-based and Minnesota nice. Low warehouse prices, fast, world-class service.
Tires Plus.
I keep my home in top running condition, so I only buy the best.
For your cooling needs, call Gens Ryan Plumbing and Heating, your independent Lennox dealer.
Imagine my surprise when I discovered air conditioners just 8 years old may not be as efficient as newer ones.
Gens Ryan Plumbing and Heating can install a new Lennox unit for you.
So I replaced my old one with a new one from Lennox.
They can help cut cooling bills up to 40%.
Well, my home runs like a finely oiled machine. I've got more of these somewhere.
Lennox, 5,000 independent dealers, 100 years of service, one less thing to worry about.
You want to know the secret to choosing a motor oil? You wait till the sun goes down. You take a ride to your local garage and then get a real close look at what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, more top mechanics in America choose Valvoline over any other brand. Valvoline can help keep cars on the road for 100, 200, 300,000 miles and more. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. People who know use Valvoline.
As always with every racing season, there is a host of rookie candidates in all the divisions out at Elko Speedway. We already talked a little bit about the late model division, but in the sportsman division, another good group of rookies coming in should provide an awful lot of entertainment. Real good guy to keep your eyes on, though, first of all, folks, will be Jim Gustafson. He was a track champion at 2 different speedways last year, at the Cedar Lake Speedway over in Wisconsin and also at Raceway Park in Shakopee. So he'll be a threat. Also coming out of Shakopee will be Darrell Waltz, who was a short tracker competitor there for many years. Also Jeff Nimitz, Dean Robinson, Tom Doughton, all guys, Ted, who are going to earn some seat time in that division.
Oh yeah, tough division to compete in. These drivers do have some experience. It'll be interesting to see how they can go up against the other competitors. Jim Gustafson, definitely somebody to keep your eyes on, though, in the sportsman division rookie race. Thunder Cars, there's quite a contingent of drivers that have made the switch over. Tom Cahoot was 4th in bomber points last year. Very consistent runner. Tom Kerberger makes the jump up to Thunder Cars. Joe Ralph Jr., maybe he can learn something from his dad, Smokin' Joe. He retired during the offseason. Now Junior's going to take over. And the Polish-powered Jason Polzinski, who finished 18th in bomber points, also had a very strong 1994 season. He'll be making the jump up to Thunder Cars.
And also Jenny Erickson will be coming in. A new woman in that class. Will be a total of 4 female competitors in the Thunder Car division. And of course the Bombers, there's a whole ton of them that'll be coming into that division. It's a great way to start off. You don't need a lot of experience in that division. It's very inexpensive to get involved, and it gives you a really good feel of what racing's all about.
The Thunder Cars have 21 rookies vying for the prestigious Rookie of the Year title. One of those drivers is no stranger to the rookie chase. His name is Doug Brown, and he won that title in the short tracker division up at Raceway Park in 1990. He then went on to win a couple of championships in the subcompact division. This year he sets his sight on 8-cylinder racing. Why make the switch? Better competition? Higher speeds? We'll let Doug tell you why he made the switch from Raceway Park to Elko Speedway.
Yeah, we've got a lot more metal, a lot more power. Hopefully we can do good with it. I've driven a few Enduros and did real well on those, and kind of the same type of car, but a cleaner racing, I guess. So.
You feel comfortable making the move to the bigger car then?
Yeah, I do. I was kind of getting tired of kind of deadlocked in the class I was in, so I thought, you know, this was a great class. We come out and watch a lot on Saturday nights last year, and it looked like a really fun class, and had some help from Doug's Auto Service building the car, and he said he wanted to put a car together for me, so couldn't really turn it down.
We'll have to keep our eyes on the number 29 Doug Service Chevrolet of Savage's Doug Brown. Experience will win you races, and Doug Brown has plenty of that on his side.
Ever since 1965, Elko Speedway has been the Midwest Center for Speed. And I tell you folks, it's real comforting to know that there isn't some politicians out there who want to tear the place down like they do some of the other sports edifices around here. But Bob Fredrickson, who's been the promoter for quite a few years now, keeps making a little bit of improvements every year to enhance not only the racing, but the enjoyment and the comfort for the fans. Now let's catch up with promoter Bob Fredrickson and find out what's on tap for 1996.
But we do have some real good things planned, some paving, the walkways. We're planning on adding some bleachers before the too far into the season so we can accommodate all the fans that are coming out. We're also working on putting up some VIP suites and some new buildings. So otherwise, the rest of the place is getting a facelift again, and we're just trying to upgrade everything that we're doing.
Sounds like a lot of great things going on down at Elko Speedway this season. You know it yourself, folks. Get on down there and check it out for yourself. When we come back, we're going to find out more about a brand new racing series that involves Elko Speedway.
Put 700 of the world's most powerful horses together, and what do you get? You get out of the way. The Budweiser Ken Schrader stock car. See you at the races.
With all the motor oils on the shelf, how do you know which one to choose? Some people even think they're all the same. Then why do you suppose one brand of motor oil is the #1 choice of America's top mechanics for use in their own cars and trucks? Which brand? Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. And for extra engine protection, try Valvoline DuraBlend Synthetic Blend Motor Oil.
Shake, rattle, and roll this Saturday night. It's high-speed, action-packed NASCAR auto racing excitement. The Thunder rolls every Saturday night at the Midwest Center for Speed, Elko Speedway. 4 exciting divisions: NASCAR late models, sportsmen, Thunder cars, and bombers. Elko Speedway is located just 10 minutes south of Burnsville on Interstate 35. Feel the thunder this Saturday night at Elko Speedway. For ticket information, call the Speedway at 461-RACE.
As the 1995 racing season came to a close, so did the 7-year-old NASCAR Northern Series, a traveling series for late model cars that involved 4 tracks from the Midwest. But in its place has sprouted the brand new Telecom Gold Star Series. Track promoter Bob Fredrickson is back to tell us a little bit more about this 6-race shootout.
Well, the Telecom USA Gold Star Series, which is sponsored by a phone directory company that's based in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It's a series between Hawkeye Downs and Cedar Rapids and Elko Speedway, and it's a 6-race series, 1 race a month. We've got some good sponsorship for it already. The drivers are looking forward to it because it's probably the 2 favorite tracks of the series from the old Northern Series, and some good purses. And we've got a lot of drivers that are interested in it. I think we'll have just as many cars or more cars traveling between the 2 tracks than we had before because of the point fund and just because of the consistency of the 2 racetracks.
Well, the Telecom Gold Star Series will be really fun to watch at Elko Speedway and Hawkeye Downs throughout 1996. Plenty of other great events scheduled for the calendar out at Elko Speedway, though. It all starts this Saturday night, the season opener, plus you, the race fan, will have an opportunity to drive the micro remote control Winston Cup cars. Had an opportunity to do this during the wintertime, Wally. It is a blast, and I'll kick your butt Saturday night.
In your dreams, pal.
Legends cars will come back to Elko Speedway on a few occasions this season. Memorial Day, July 3rd during the Valvoline 100, and the Musco Lighting Legends Series returns to Elko Speedway on June 15th.
Minnesota State Lottery once again is a strong force behind the great racing at Elko. June will be Minnesota Lottery Month at the races, and fans can look forward to thousands of prizes, including free scratch-off tickets to the first 2,000 fans through the gates at each event during the month of June. You can also win as much as $10,000.
I'm there. Elko Speedway's very first Eve of Destruction event is slated for Friday night, June 21st. It will feature the Green Mamba Jet Car, rollover contest, a backup race, spectator drags, a trailer race, and a 30-lap bomber feature. Should be a smashing good time. Plus the Kim Classic, the Gatorade Circle of Champions event, and the Winston Select State Championships at the end of the season. It'll be a great year at Elko Speedway, race fans. Make your plans to be out to the track. When we get back, it's time for Wally and I to make our fearless preseason predictions. Don't go away.
You want to know the secret to choosing a motor oil? You wait till the sun goes down. You take a ride to your local garage and then get a real close look at what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, more top mechanics in America choose Valvoline over any other brand. Valvoline can help keep cars on the road for 100, 200, 300,000 miles and more. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. People who know use Valvoline.
Science Plus! Keeping our lives in alignment's a big challenge. Seems like we're always hitting those proverbial potholes. To get back into alignment, we need to prioritize and use our time wisely. Hi, I'm Tom Gigax. Speaking of alignment, when your car or truck hits a pothole, come to Tires Plus for a free alignment check. Just as you need to keep your life in alignment, keep your car or truck in alignment at Tires Plus.
No warehouse prices. Tires Plus. World-class service. Tires Plus.
Shake, rattle, and roll this Saturday night. It's high-speed, action-packed NASCAR auto racing excitement. The Thunder rolls every Saturday night at the Midwest Center for Speed, Elko Speedway. 4 exciting divisions: NASCAR late models, sportsmen, Thunder cars, and bombers. Elko Speedway is located just 10 minutes south of Burnsville on Interstate 35. Feel the thunder this Saturday night at Elko Speedway. For ticket information, call the Speedway at 461-RACE.
I keep my home in top running condition, so I only buy the best.
For your cooling needs, call Gens Ryan Plumbing and Heating, your independent Lennox dealer.
Imagine my surprise when I discovered air conditioners just 8 years old may not be as efficient as newer ones.
Gens Ryan Plumbing and Heating can install a new Lennox unit for you.
So I replaced my old one with a new one from Lennox.
They can help cut cooling bills up to 40%.
Now my home runs like a finely oiled machine. I've got more of these somewhere.
Lennox, 5,000 independent dealers, 100 years of service, one less thing to worry about.
I want to invite everybody out to Elko Speedway Saturday night, April 13th for the 96 season opener for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. See you Saturday night.
This year is going to be a really tough year. There are some really good drivers. Guys got some really good equipment. Bob Barfnick in Dan Ryan's old car, he's going to be really tough. Bob's always been a good competitor. He's going to be really tough. I know there's a couple guys like Rob Holtz. They looked really good at the end of the year last year. They didn't do much to the car. You know, when it's fast, leave it alone.
I guess if I was to point fingers, I'd have to say, you know, like Brian and Mike and Mark, or Jeff, and there's a few other guys that, I mean, they've got pretty good stuff, and they're good drivers and stuff, so it's really hard to pick. This is a hard group of guys.
Ken Eastlick, for sure. I'm saying that because he's right here.
He picked you to win the division. You bet. Ford Chevy battle right here.
Yeah.
Going down.
Steve Anderson, for sure. I mean, you can't count him out ever. He's got a new car. Was a fast car last year. It's going to be fast this year.
You can never discount Jeff and Brian Johnson. They're both going to be tough. You know, they always are. And my prediction is Mike Tuma is going to be the champion.
It's time to make those fearless preseason predictions. We'll start it off in the Bomber Division. Wally, in the Bombers, you never know what's going to happen in the Bomber Division. The past champion, John Hellendrung, he's gone on to race promoting up at Raceway Park. I am picking number 60, Grant Wasgott. He's got that lucky Vikings hat.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a factor.
A little bit dirtier than ours.
The guy I like, though, he's got the great name. Wally Cavalli from Elko. I don't think he's going to win it all, but I'm going to go with Dave Frantic, but I think he's going to be pressured pretty hard by John Schmitz, who was second last year, and also Grant Wasgott.
Yes. Wasgott's my pick. Wally Cavalli, your pick. Let's move on to the Thunder Car Division. Well, you're going to expect about 80 cars competing in the Thunder Car Division. It's really tough to pick a winner in this. The one driver who's impressed me as he's developed over the years, he's very consistent. If he keeps the car in line, finishes all the feature races, I think Thad Sunstall will be the 1996 champion.
Well, as I gaze into the crystal ball, Ted, I see some good competition from Keith Johnson. Jorgensen's going to be there as well, but I think Lawrence Gensler is going to come back and reclaim his title.
Where the hell do you see that?
It's in there, yeah. See, it's right down by that blue M&M.
Oh, okay, I see it now. In the Sportsman Division, once again, a very tough division to select a winner. I like the very consistent finisher in Rob Host. He has good financial backing behind with DRS Home Repair and also Delco Corporation. I think Rob Host is going to be tough to beat in the Sportsman Division.
I'm still trying to figure out the color of that car, so that's got me confused. I think Lawrence Sirik is going to have a good run. I think Donnie Reavers. If Steve Croyer races all season long on a regular basis, I think he can be a real threat. But I'm going to stick with the current champion, the Cheetah Man, Steve Anderson in his new car. He's going to do it.
Yeah, he's got Dan Ryan's old Monte Carlo from last year. He sold his car off to the newcomer Darrell Waltz. It'll be interesting in the Sportsman Division. What do you like in the late models?
Late models, that's the tough one. I see 7 cars in this ball here. I see Jeff Martin, Mike Tuma, Brian Johnson, Steve Mergic, Kevin Nuttleman, Ray Gensler, and Randy Waibel. I think all those guys have a legitimate shot at it. But I'm going to go back to the champ of 2 years ago and give it to Brian Johnson, only because his kids are getting bigger and they might beat me up if I don't pick them.
Well, I look into this crystal ball and I see the word M&M's on the back of it. That makes me hungry. The only driver out there in the late model division that's hungrier than I am this year is Mike Tuma. Mike Tuma last year fell a little bit short at the end of the year, but I'll tell you, we had an opportunity to talk to him last Saturday at the practice session. This guy is hungry. Mike Tuma is going to win the late model division in 1996.
Okay, that's what you think. Those are our fearless predictions. Whether you like them or not, that's how they will be until we find out 20 weeks from now.
We'll see you Saturday night, 7 o'clock race time, 6:30 time trials for the NASCAR season opener. See you at the races.